All right, we're now streaming live. Got it. Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to your Hypno Happy Hour. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Tell me how you're doing. Say good. Good. Where are you tuning in from? I'm very excited that you are here today. I feel like gosh, I don't know. Do you guys feel like this? Like it's only been a week, but I feel like it's been weeks since I actually got on and we got to see each other in this hypno hour. I feel like it's been forever. How about you? Yes, yes. Does it feel like that? Probably feels like that because each for the last couple weeks I've had a guest on speaking about different important topics that shared that stage with me. And so like I'm like, oh, I'm back. I'm back with just you and me, baby. So let's get our hypno happy hour going. Yeah. When I look outside, it's all like it's gloomy, it's dark, and sometimes you guys things as the weather begins to shift, some folks really suffer from feeling more melancholy or sadness. Some people go to more down the ladder and feel more depressed as the darker times of fall and winter comes. And that's what's coming to my mind right now. That's not the topic of why we're coming on here, but I'm looking out there and I'm like, yeah, it's a bit dark. And I remember when I was looking out there and this time of the year, it really made me want to just sort of hibernate and, isolate myself, really just like crawl like a bear would, just kind of crawl into your cave and like, let's just sleep here and, do bare minimum, no pun intended, of life and just kind of just like pajama feel, just be in your pajamas a lot. And I don't know if that was me being sad or whatnot, but I look out now and I think about how beautiful and how much more energy that I get now that it's starting to get all like snuggly weather. Like I now am very different and I tend to get a lot more things done and I feel actually a lot more energized as the season is getting darker. So I'm just having this moment out loud with you guys. Can anyone relate? Have you guys noticed your relationship with seasons have changed over your life? At one point, did you like love winter? Now you don't kind of like it, or, vice versa. I've noticed my relationships with the seasons, they're just evolving, right? They're evolving. So anyhow, I'm getting sidetracked. What I'm talking about today, but I want to know if you know what I'm talking about. So put in the comments like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Things have definitely changed in any direction. It's really, really powerful to become aware of your mindset shift on how something like the weather could actually make you really sad at one point in your life, but then now give you energy. And so I like to bring awareness to this because you actually have the power of shifting your perception on things that are happening out of here and really allowing them to be what you want them to be. Right? It's all perception. So yeah, I'm like, no more gloomy winter for me. Like, I'm like, yeah, I get energized during this season and just anchor down in a different way. So anyhow, thank you all for being here. And we're talking about intuition. This is such a good topic for me. Put it like, yes, I love talking about intuition, but yes, intuition is my deal. The reason why this topic is going to be so powerful and so new, and you've never heard it like this before, is because I'm going to debunk a lot of myths out there about your intuition. Like I'm going to clean things up for you. Who wants clarity around your intuitive muscle? Right? There's a lot of folks who, like for me, for so many years, like I'm like, what's my intuition and what's like a program keying in? Right? Like what's a true like negative program of fear versus what's my intuition trying to tell me, like there's a lot of confusion around like, what even is your intuition? Does it come from my head? Does it come from my gut? I mean, come on, there's a ton of questions about intuition. And so I'm going to clear a lot of it up, but I'm going to go in talking about intuition in the aspect of like, this is what I hear a lot from my clients and a lot in the community. Like, I was going to go to talk to my boss about getting a raise, but I just got this really bad feeling. And so I'm going to listen to my intuition and not do it. Like, like, oh, I really want to start dating again. And there's this guy, I think he's into me. But every time I go to like message him, I get this really bad feeling. And so I'm just going to listen to my intuition and I'm not going to reach out to him. Like, come on, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's so many scenarios like that. And I'm like, that is not your intuition. That is not your intuition. Let me clear up what your intuition is, and then I'll tell you what that was. Okay. Now, if you're like on the roof of a building and you're about to like jump off and you get this really like scary feeling in your gut, you know what I mean? That's your intuition telling you not to do that. That is a very different signal than I should go for that raise or go talk to that guy or do a presentation or pursue what I really want in life or whatever. Those are two very different feelings. And what I hear and what I'm seeing all the time is that people are misunderstanding, misusing their intuition all the time. Like, you just blame the whole reason why you're not going to level up on your intuition. That's not fair. Right? Your intuition didn't tell you not to go to the gym. Your intuition didn't tell you not to start dating. Your intuition didn't tell you not to go apply for that new job. No, but you blamed it on your intuition. Am I right? Like, give me a yes. Your scenarios might be slightly different, but come on, you use those all the time, right? Like, oh, you got to make a phone call. And you're like, no, I don't want to do it. My intuition is telling me no, because I feel really awful. So I'm not going to get on the phone. And then you'll use that as an excuse, right? Like, oh, it just wasn't my time to go to that event. I had a really bad feeling. A really bad feeling. So I'm not going to go to this networking event. I'm not going to go to that meeting. I'm going to act like I'm just sick because my intuition is saying no. You guys better be laughing with me over there because you know it's true. There's so many times in your life that you got that really uncomfortable feeling when having to do something and you blamed it on your intuition. That's your guidance system telling you not to do it. When in actuality, that is not it at all. Your intuition will never tell you anything like that. That's never what your intuition is never telling you not to do anything uncomfortable. You want me to tell you something, one of the biggest secrets? Your intuition is actually telling you to do everything that's uncomfortable. Oh my goodness. Hear that again. Replay. Your intuition is actually the one behind the fear telling you, no, go for it. Go for it. You just have that fear in front of it that's like, no, I don't want to ask him out or her out. No, I don't think I should start that new project. Or no, who am I to start my own business? Or, oh no, who am I to start this whole new diet? Or no, it's not the right time. That is a program talking. Your intuition will be like, it has your back. Your intuition is like, do that thing that you're super scared of. That is what your intuition says, my friend. Okay, so you see, there is a very clear difference, but it takes time of like having such self-awareness in those situations where you're like, okay, wait a minute. No, that's a legit program. And that one's my intuition. Like, for example, you're here on live with me. And so I might ask a question and I'm telling you to comment. But you might get a really bad feeling or a scary feeling that says, don't comment. And you might blame that on your intuition. That is not your intuition. That's a program, maybe, saying, I don't want other people to see my comments or something like that. I might sound silly on my comment or something. You have an insecurity, you have a fear going on. That's never your intuition. So what I want to do here today is really clear up what is your true guidance system, right? What is the true, how do you really follow? How do you build that intuitive muscle so that way you are getting that clear, like yes or no, versus you actually operating out of a program state and really misusing and misunderstanding your intuition, which I think is a really big problem for a lot of folks. Right? So let's, I said something earlier that was really huge. I said, your intuition will always support you and encourage you and actually want you to go in the direction that is very uncomfortable, not unsafe. Don't get that twisted. Not like jump off the roof, not unsafe, uncomfortable. Because only my friends, when you bust through those things, when you face those things that are making you uncomfortable, that's the only time you evolve. That is the only time you up level, is when you go right into the thing that is making you super uncomfortable. So I want you to get this different relationship, have this different understanding of what your intuition is. Like, truly hear me when I say this, is that this took me a while, so I get it. But that uncomfortable butterfly, nervous, like, oh gosh, kind of feeling, it's your green light. It's your green light saying, yes, 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 go for it. It's like that roller coaster feeling. Because at that scenario, like, going to start dating again, or going to go for a higher position, going to settle like an old friction between you and a colleague or an old friend or family member, all that discomfort of where you're thinking like, gosh, like I really got to talk to this person, or I really got to do this thing, but it just makes my skin crawl. Like it just, I don't want to do it. That's the universe saying, do it. Do it. Do it. I'll give you an example of this. So for 2 days, so me and my husband, we have multiple businesses. And in one of our companies, there was this like staff members, there's tend to be some drama sometimes, like little, what work, office people tend to do sometimes. It's like little rumors and stuff. And there were some rumors going on with some timesheet stuff. And it got back to my husband. And for 2 days, he was sitting there kind of like walking around the house, processing, like, he was in this uncomfortable state, like processing how he's going to do this, who he's going to call in and who he's going to talk to, and the new system he's going to put in and all this stuff. And he's just like walking around super uncomfortable. Like literally you can see the life force being sucked out of him. And here he has with a wife like me. I'm like, just go do it. Like, you're the boss. Like, go in there and go confront this thing. Like, go right into it. And he's like, well, I got to process. My processors up in here where you're like, no, not the time. Let me just see if it goes away by itself. No, it never does. And it will make you really unhappy. That tension that's there with your colleague, that old fight you had with a parent or a sibling or something. And it's like holiday time is coming up and you're like, oh, I got to be in the same room with that person. That is stealing your life force. And so your job is to go right in, like bull with the horns, like boom, go bust right into that scenario. That's the universe saying, come on, like handle this. And so he does. He gets up, he goes in, my husband, and he calls a meeting. He straightens it all out. He's, home a few hours later, and he's like full of life. And my husband's feeling all great again. He's like, oh my goodness, it was nothing. Like it wasn't even half of what I heard. No one even has an issue. And there wasn't even no issue. And everything was working out great and everyone's happy. And I'm like, see? And he felt, because he confronted that discomfort, he leveled up his confidence, right? And just being a CEO and confronting sticky situations and stuff, like all his authority figure, everything grew because he went straight into it. So I ask you guys to I ask you, where in your life is there an uncomfortable situation and you keep blaming your intuition not to handle it, not to confront it? Think about if you are feeling vulnerable enough here, you put it in the comments. Put in the comments. Is there a situation that you're like, Derika, I am dreading? I don't want to do this thing. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. I'm going to go look in the comments right now to see what is coming up for you. And if you don't put it in the comments, that's totally okay. But here's the deal. Like, if you don't do it with me, you got to do it off the camera. Okay. You got to promise me that. So here's some things I'm getting. I am in the mood to reorganize my life. Yeah. So I love that, Kristen, because you go into, like a closet or a room in the house and you're like, oh my gosh. My intuition is telling me not even to deal with this today. That's not your intuition. It's not. It's like there's a bunch of stuff in there that needs your attention. And the universe is actually pushing you towards it with this discomfort to telling you when you get finished organizing that room, hear me out. Kristen, when you get finished organizing that room, think about the woman you're going to be and feel when it's done, right? You're going to feel badass. You're going to feel unstoppable. You're going to feel purged and cleansed and decluttered. You're going to have just this power about you that I can get things done, for one. And then you're going to have much better energy flow in that room. It's going to feel renewed. It's going to feel like a new start. And your creativity is going to start flowing because you're going to be back into source, right? Yeah, give me a yes, girl. Yes. So that is what I'm talking about with every scenario in your life. So let's not confuse our intuition with a program. Your program, right, is just really, it's fear-based. It's fear-based. It's worst case scenario based. It's of worry. It's of doubt. It's of stress. Those are the negative programs. And they very well often are sometimes confused as your intuition, but they're not at all. Your intuition is very positive. Your intuition is like, put me in the ring, let's go. Your intuition knows that nothing's going to stop you. It's only going to grow you. You know what I'm saying? Your intuition is like, take that discomfort and let's go plow through. That is your intuition. Can I get am I getting some nods? Like, okay. I would tell you right now, every time that I've leveled up in myself, in my courage, in my confidence, in my knowledge, in my abundance, financially, love life, everything, it took me facing discomfort every single time. Every single time. If I wanted to, level up in my company, let's say, I would have to do things that it was really stretchy that made me go, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I had to do it. Like, I did not want to do lives, but I knew that I had to level up in myself. I knew that I had to serve more. I knew that my vision inside was to help more people. And this was a route to go. And I, for months, probably even longer, was like, no, don't press live. Don't press play. Don't press play. I didn't want to do it. But I tell you what, I was like, okay, go head on and press live. And now I love doing lives. And I've made so many phenomenal connections. And the feedback of these Hypno Happy Hours are just immense. The friends I've made on here, where it's taking me is to a whole nother level, personally and professionally, just by doing lives. And I know that may sound silly, but it's absolutely 100% true. But that was really uncomfortable. So you see what I'm getting at? So if you're watching this on a replay, put replay, still follow along. I really do encourage you to to sit and think about all the areas in your life that are causing you discomfort. Is it old relationships, right? Is it you want to do something, but you're afraid that it won't work out. You're afraid that you'll look stupid. You're afraid that it's not going to last. You're afraid that the other person isn't going to be genuine or whatever. Like, there's something that's holding you back that you're running. It's like you're running from, like, you got to do it, but you're just like, you keep giving that intuitive excuse that you shouldn't. Please don't waste any more of your life. Seriously, it's a sucker of your energy. Everything that you run from chases you. Do not run from that awkward conversation, that confrontation. Don't run from nothing that's uncomfortable. This is how I want you to be. This is my ideal vision for you. When something is uncomfortable, you go, let's handle it. Let's go. Let's go. Because if you nip it and you get it done, you become so much of a bigger, evolved, understanding person. And you also don't harbor that backpack of those rocks that you're carrying around in your life. You're freed from it. You're like, oh, someone has an issue? Okay, what is it? Okay, come on. A customer service issue comes in my company. I'm like, hey, what is it? What does that person want? Like, what's going on? Okay, let's go. Like, I'm not going to sit there and like, and then wish that it goes away and just like, point the blame. And no, because it'll continue to keep surfacing up, and it's actually stealing your light. It's stealing your power. Okay. Let me look to see if there's any new feedback. I'm really interested. Is this landing for you? Are you like, okay, Derika? Come on. Every single thing that is, I see you guys. I'm loving that you're here. I'm honored that you're here. Everything that is uncomfortable in your life, that is your intuition saying you got something to deal with. You have something here that you get to break through, that you get to really face and release. And we cannot do that by running away from it. We can't. We got to go in the ring with that thing and bust it through. And I promise, every time you jump in the ring, it's always sized up. You're always like, oh, this wasn't such a big deal. This wasn't that bad. That person wasn't even that mad. Like, or whatever the scenario. Like, oh, you're like, that's it? But you'll learn so much more as a person and in life, and that whole weight that's been tearing you down and keeping you out of source is gone. You just feel like such a great relief. So again, before we end here, remember that your intuition is never telling you to not do something because you're uncomfortable. Your intuition in that moment, when you're the most uncomfortable, when you're uncomfortable at all, your intuition is the voice behind that saying, go for it, do it. It's like that feeling when you're on the roller coaster, right? And you're like, oh my gosh. You're like, tick, 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 tick. You're just so nervous. You're like, oh, I shouldn't do this, right? But you're locked in, you're committed, you're going to go, and you go, and then you're just having the time of your life. You're like, oh my gosh, you learn so much from that ride. And then the ride's over and you're like, oh, wow. Okay, next line. So, that's what it's like. Like, don't use the excuse anymore. Oh, I feel bad about this. My intuition is telling me to walk away. No, it's not. It's never it's telling you go fight it. It's telling you to go get in the ring, go see what it's about. What is the universe trying to show you? Learn from it and get right through it. You can get on with it, will you? That's what your intuition is telling you, okay? So give me like, yes, a thumbs up. That makes total sense. I don't like it, but that makes sense. I get it. Right? You can look at every single accomplishment you had in life. It took a really uncomfortable thing, right? You had to make a decision and you had to actually do something uncomfortable to evolve into that next level of you, to that next accomplishment, to that next success. It's always going to be stretchy. It's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning, okay? So trust that uncomfortable feeling is your intuition saying, I got your back. You can do this. That's what the intuition is actually saying. Okay. There's programs all attached to that, fears and worries and doubts. And that stuff is not a part of your evolution. It's not even real. Those programs, they're like a virus in the computer system that we just need to extract. They are not a part of you, don't need to be you. They don't serve you, don't need to be in the next chapter of you, right? The only two fears, like we mentioned in the last Hypno Happy Hour, that you're born with. Oh, I didn't do it on this Hypno Happy Hour. Anyway, you guys, we're only born with two fears, the fear of noise and the fear of falling. All the other fears, they got to go, because those are something you inherited. They're not even real. They're your mom's and your dad's and other people's and other things that you inherited. They don't even exist. They're not real, and they're just hindrances to your success and evolution. So think about that. Okay? Your intuition is always forcing you into uncomfortable situations. And I say you have this mentality of like, fuck it, here goes nothing. Let's have this, here goes nothing. Do it anyway, because you're going to win or learn. And it's amazing. Both of those are very amazing outcomes. You can't get it wrong. So let's all stop misusing our intuition and get on with this week and go right into those discomforts, uncomfortable conversations, uncomfortable decisions, uncomfortable scenarios and meetings or whatever it is, and make it our new comfort. Yeah? All right. I love you guys. Give me feedback on what landed for you. If you guys like this, give me like some celebration emojis. And I'm excited to see you on next Tuesday. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.